Hey there and welcome back. So today we are trying this on a different camera, a bit more freehand, and you may be wondering why I'm staring at a wall and a bit of a frame. Now we are up in the loft and this is going to be a new series in building a layout from scratch. Now I've already put some of it together because I didn't want to do the whole like boring, this is how you cut a piece of wood and what have you. So I kind of wanted to get a bit more straight into it. So first thing that we're going to do obviously is building the frame. So as you can see, we are starting off with this is our base. And this just goes to show as well that although we are in a loft and there isn't a massive amount of room, it does show that you can have a layout in a great little place what is really accessible. Now previously, before it was moved downstairs, my dad did have a layout in this loft, and as you can see there, we've got the normal lighting, but we have got power in here for some additional lighting which was used to illuminate the loft. And then if we just move this out of the way, we have a little board that we're screwed in down here, and what we're going to do with these two screws what have been measured out, this is just going to have a little extension cable on so we can power the layout and all the stuff that we need. Now first off, building your frame. So what I would recommend as I take you over here is a good sturdy strong frame. Now what I've always used is something like this, which is 3x2 wood. Now you may think, yes, I do pardon the rug, but all the old rugs in the house have been chucked up here so you're not just kneeling on the floor. So that is a good thing to sort out. If you've got a decent bit of flooring, it makes it a bit better on your knees. Always think of your health. So as you can see here, we've got some 3x2 wood, and we've got a lot more of it here, and these are the excess parts that we haven't used. So in building this frame, what we did, we got the set from the Mallard with the track mat, and we roughly laid it out. And this is a little bigger than the track mat, but as you can see, it gives us an idea, or a good idea, where we can use to put our frame and to give us a rough size for, you know, the space that we're going to need. So what we did, we measured everything out, we got the wood cut to length, and it's literally just a case of cutting the wood and screwing it into place. Now first off, you need a good anchor point. So as you can see here, we've drilled and gone straight into the wall. We've done this with one piece along the back and then another piece there. And then what we have done, because I will show you in a minute, these are the boards what we use, or what we're going to use for the base. Now this was a spare one left from last time. So what we've done, as you can see, we've cut it and slotted it into place. And the reason that we've done this is for two things. One, it saves looking at a not as attractive bit of wall in there, breeze block walling, that's it, I got there eventually. But also this is something that you can mount your backdrop to. So you know, you can, if you're great with a paintbrush, you can paint your own onto there, or you could just put something, say like a one that you can buy from a shop that you can just cut and put onto there, and it just gives a little bit of something different to look at and something else what you can do. So let's just skip back a little bit. So if we go to here, as you can see, we have our base on the back, which is a good sturdy base to attach the wood to. And then what we did is we just measured out from here how wide we wanted this to be. Now what we did do, because as you can see there is a little step in the wall here, we measured it from this side of the frame, because obviously that's going to be the slightly shorter side and we don't want it to be shorter on this side because it may not look like much with that little bit of a gap there, but that may be the difference between having a track or two tracks on and then one hanging over the front edge. So all we've done, nice and simple, we've literally just cut straight pieces of wood and just slotted them into place. That's all we've done. That is how simple it is to do. Now, one thing we have done, if we just come over here, is that, as you can see, as we put the wood in, because this piece here is mounted on the wall, it was a little bit more difficult to, to attach this, because we already mounted the one on the wall first. And the idea being with that was, we know that that is nice, tight and secure. So what we have done is, where we've cut the wood, we've screwed brackets into the corners here and here and all the way around. And if we go to the back of here, we screwed an initial bracket in, and this was just to help to hold the wood in place while we put the front section in. So as you can see, it is something what is nice and easy. You don't have to be an absolute wizard at joinery to make a base up. And this probably took maybe an hour or two to put together at best. So it doesn't have to take long. Now, depending where you're putting your layout, the size and everything, if you wish to use something which is a lot thinner than these, then you can do, but this does provide a very, very good sturdy base. Now, as you can see, we've got one long piece right along the front, and to make a sturdy base with that, it's important to reinforce it. So what we've done, as you can see here, I'll just show you this, because on this side we literally just screwed straight into these pieces of wood. And then what we've done is we've just cut a piece here and put this in straight down to the floor. So obviously this piece now is nice and secure, and that will take an awful lot of weight. It really will. I mean, I sat on this before and yeah, it wasn't going anywhere, and I'm not the lightest person in the world. Now, there is one thing that I will say, and now when you are putting these beams in, obviously you don't want to put too many in. The reason being is that if you're setting up points and everything, and you've say got, a load of these going this way, up, down, left, right sort of thing, you're going to limit to where you can be able to put points for drilling holes through the board if you want point motors in, if you want to take it that far. Now, that's not something that at this point in time I'll be doing, but it is something to bear in mind when you're making the frame. You want to make it accessible for if you want to make any extras, because when the whole thing's on, you don't want to have the fun job of trying to take all of this out. Okay, so what we have done, just the last little bit about this frame, is that we've made some pre-drills. Now, what we've done, by that I mean we have drilled some holes going through the wood. Now, the reason for doing this is that when we are having our tracking and when we're doing wiring, say from the front to the back, these serve as a couple of purposes. I mean, you can make these bigger if you wish to, but I just thought I'd show you because we've literally done these just a few minutes ago. Now, these holes are basically for passing wires through. So if you don't have holes like this, you may say drill down, and then you could have wires hanging over, or if you say want to pass something through the wood, then this is something that you'd have to do later. And I mean, yes, you could just attach them onto here or go underneath, but as you can see, we are using storage under here as well. So you just trying to keep your wires as tidy as possible, and then you know exactly where everything's going, and it's not going to be a mess. You can keep it nice and tidy. You can use some of the little clips that you use to say hold wires down to your skirting boards, things like that, and they are great to just pop over your wires, and it just keeps everything nice and tidy. And then what you could in fact even do is say, sorry for the camera, I'm just moving, but what you could do, you could say have this beam and along here all you're going to do is run your power cables. So any problems with power, you know it's down to here. You could then say with this one, run any lighting wires what may go to the back, and with this one you could use to run point motor wires depending where your points are, and you can just have it so also you know what each kind of section, each bar is for, and then that also just makes it a bit easier. And the one thing I found is make it easy and simple, because I have seen some layouts where underneath the amount of wiring, I mean generally they are tidy, yes, but I have seen some where the wiring is out all over the place. It's like, what on earth is going where? So if you do this early on and you pre-do it, then you basically, for the future, anything what you do, you're just making it as easy as you can. So that is a little bit on the frame. And then what we're going to do after this is we're going to show you the baseboards and how we are going to attach them. So as we can see where we are up to now, as you saw before, the frame's completed. We've put extra holes in here and in the other boards just for any power or anything like that what may go through. And then we've got some extra. So you know what extra means? It means that we can build a little bit extra somewhere else maybe in the future. So keep that to one side, because that is more than likely what we're going to do. So, and one more thing as well, all this wood only came, now obviously I'm building this in the UK, this only came to about £20 as well. So it wasn't a huge outlay to get all this frame done and down. So hopefully this is going to help you in starting or giving you an idea for building with your own layout. So hit that like, subscribe to see the rest of the series, thumbs up. And with that being said, we shall see you in the next video.